And, whoa, look at Magoo. Magoo streaks into the...
Thorpe's got basketballs. They lock handlebars as they go through, but Thorpe's done.
Here comes Bradshaw to the outside of Bale. He takes over the number 2 position, and Bradshaw is not done.
Battle with Kudrowski last year. They had a little bit of a heated discussion at the end of one of those motos, and you can bet he's going to be a threat here today.
Well, now Emick sweeps along on the inside, tries to carry LaRocco out. He could have easily taken LaRocco out with that move, but he backed it off, allowed LaRocco to keep the position.
Well, you know, in the first lap, sometimes a move like that, he could have gone down also in that same little exchange. So possibly just trying to let things sort themselves out, not make a stupid move like that. If he was to go down right here, he'd probably drop 10, 15 spots in this first lap.
Oh, there's that jump. Look at that. They really fly up there, don't they?
There was only a few riders last year that were able to clear all the way up over that. It's a double jump, but then there's another little rise beyond the top, so they kind of turn it into a triple, and all of them are doing it this year.
Is that simply horsepower or the line and getting the right traction coming off the setup for the jump?
It's pretty much all that. a little bit of nerve, and you know, the right line coming out of the corner, the right drive, and everybody seems to be hooking up good today, and they're getting the speed they need to do it.
There's the green flag, 1 lap complete, and a tight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And look at that, Damon Bradshaw is also in there among the top 5 as he's following John Dowd.
Right, he's got the start he needs.
LaRocco, and maybe slowly reel in Jeremy.
The support race proved that once you get it in front here, if you don't make mistakes, it's not that hard to pull away.
Yeah, the track's kind of smooth because they graded a lot of the ruts in, so seems like they're all going about the same speed right now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. The track isn't really that rough. It'll get rougher in the second moto in some of these tight sections. Those ruts right there will get real choppy coming out, so choosing the right one will be important. But for the most part, the track is pretty wide open, and what that means basically is if there was a privateer, let's say, that it's not capable of running the pace these guys say at a track like Southwick, he could run this pace for a while. Then mistakes eventually would get the better of him because these guys don't make many. But
oh, there's a mistake right there. Jeff Emick got a little too close to the tree, touched it with the handlebar, and just like that, LaRocco moves around into second place.
Well, I hope I didn't jinx him. Gosh, right when I said it. That's a tough section right there because the berm, early in practice when it's kind of muddy, the riders, they don't want to drift off into that off-camber, so they go real close to the tree, and that's where the berm ends up. So you brush your shoulder through there just about every lap.
Around, and now we look a little bit further back. That's John Dowd who's being pursued by Greg Albertine. This should be a battle for the 5th spot. Albie riding along in 6th, Dowd in 5th, trying to get it away, but Dowd gets on the gas just a little bit sooner, up over the jump. Oh, man, what great camel work. This is just Buchanan, Michigan, Redbud Track and Trail Art, Edmund David Bailey and John Kernan. Still, that battle for 5th place continues to be a furious one. John Dowd has it, but right on his rear wheel is Greg Albertine. Oh,
look at that airtime.
Oh.
That's the most airtime I've seen in a long time on a motocross track. That looks like the kind of stuff we go out and find, you know, in our weeks off in the sand dunes in Glamis or something.
Oh, man, that is just... I could sit there and watch nothing but clips of that all day long. That is just beautiful to watch.
Well, from the rider's standpoint, it's fun, too, because that jump is pretty forgiving. If you were to land a little short, it's not like you're going to, you know, really probably, you know, crash or anything. There's not a big jump they have to clear over. It's just actually faster to carry that much more speed up the hill. It looks pretty neat.
Speaking of speed, it looks like Albie might be a little bit faster. Is Dowd holding him up, do you think?
I think so. I think if Albertine can get around, he'll pull away, and I think Dowd knows that, too, and he's just trying to do all that he can to hold him back there, and maybe...
There we go. There's the power by Albertine to the inside. A daring move. Gets alongside Dowd. Just a drag race to the corner. Albie taking the inside line, gets around, and takes over that 5th spot.
Well, that's a pretty aggressive move. I can tell you there wasn't a whole lot of room between Dowd and that fence post going into that from Albertine, like I said before, and possibly stay in contact with these leaders.
Back up front, Jeremy McGrath continues to lead. Then it's Mike LaRocco, followed by Jeff Emick. McGrath last year didn't have a very good time here. He finished 12th overall. And what do we got here? It looks like a couple KT. Yeah, Anthony Amaratio and...
That's Jeff the Mint, too. Amarat.
Oh, right
hand.
Punches. There goes Jeff Curry by. Oh, this is not good good for the 2 teammates for KTM.
No, this isn't good at all.
Look at the way the bikes wound. I'm sure they threw them.
I wonder whose bike is on top.
Man.
That guy's going to win, maybe.
Oh, and throws him down. Alex Almiradio on top.
You know, it looks, and there's the AMA official. Boy, this isn't the good. This happened in the woods where nobody saw. So
overall, once again, this is a battle for second place. Jeff Emig is in third. He has his sights set on LaRocco.
And while these two are battling, they've obviously picked up the pace, or Jeremy's slowed one, because Jeremy's down in the corner right there. He had a pretty big lead early in the race, and apparently it had checked out. But right now, these guys are close.
Well, you got to think they've either picked up the pace. Here we go with a little air time for Jeff Emig. And either they picked up the pace, or maybe Jeremy has slowed down a bit just to save himself for the second half of this moto. But right now to the outside, does he have the drive coming out of that rut? No. LaRocco holds him off for the time being. Emig, David, is trying everything he can to get around him simply because of the way the points are stacking up.
Right, I'm really impressed with Emig's effort. Down the inside right here through all the mud, cuts across the line.
He just had to slow up too much, didn't he?
Well, he just went a little bit wide. He tried to guess at where LaRocco was going to come out of that corner, and as you started to point out in terms of the points, you know, like we've pointed out before, LaRocco doesn't figure into the championship title because of the races that he missed. So he is affecting the outcome of what's going on in the battle between Emig and McGrath. And if he was to finish where he is, Emig's going to drop 5 points rather than just 3 if Emig were to pass LaRocco.
You don't think Steve Butler will go over to Mike Sr. and say, how about putting a signboard out and asking LaRocco to let us get by?
No, I don't think so. And I don't think LaRocco's dad would do it. He's already dubbed Emig as an idiot. He said that last week. Said we could quote him on it. So he's nervous, probably biting his fingernails, hoping that Emig doesn't do something weird and take out his son.
Isn't that the way it is? Somebody on your team or your side says something about another rider one week, the next week you two are battling it out again side by side.
Well, it's competition, you know. That's why he has made this jump to the 250s and is really in a position to win this title, and it's a challenge for these guys. And LaRocco, we've already said, you know, plenty of times, is a lot of times one of the fastest riders on the racetrack, if not all the time. Right here catching Jeremy, and Emig is pressuring him.
Once again, you saw Jeremy going into that turn. LaRocco just a few seconds behind, where at one point I think it was over 5 seconds as far as the lead from McGrath, but they've cut into that substantially. Once again, a lot of air time, hang time. They ought to name that the Michael Jordan triple. It has so much air time.
Yeah, that'd be a good name, I guess.
You didn't like that, did you? No, I get the feeling you didn't. LaRocco is in second place. Look at the dust starting to kick up from where it's dried out, and that's got to play a little funky things with your vision.
Well, the further back you drop from the rider in front of you, the more that dust plays a role. This looks like the white flag, yep.
Last lap, McGrath is in front now. Jeff Emig trying to pick up 2 valuable points. I don't think he's got a chance at winning the moto, but he certainly has a shot at LaRocco to move into the second spot.
Well, in this battle, these two have definitely closed the gap even more on Jeremy. So now Jeremy, you can bet, is glancing over his shoulder.
Well, LaRocco trying to hold off Jeff Emig here on the final lap. Art Ekman is with Mike's father.
The best part of this race is between Mike LaRocco and Jeff Emig. What a dicing job.
Work either way right there. Doug Boyson doing a good job getting out of the way, number 44. And I think the lappers play more of a role for McGrath, because he's the first rider to catch up to him, and possibly they hold him up a little bit until they realize, oh, he's the leader, and then they get out of the way for everybody else. These guys may have an advantage on Jeremy at this last lap.
Well, that advantage, I don't think is going to help him catch. There you see Jeremy McGrath just going out of the turn that they're entering. Jeremy, I think, out of 11 motos this year, has come up with 5 victories. Damon Bradshaw holds on for the 4th spot, and as we get a chance to take a look at the rest of the top 10, Art Ekman